Is the ideal client someone that's like they're brilliant in one area, they just can't grasp the marketing side of things? Is that kind of who you
or get the support maybe that they're looking for?
Yeah. There's a book written by a PhD for other PhDs. So I used to recommend it. Nobody ever reads it. It's called Diffusion of Innovations. And the simplest way to explain it, and this is really important for service providers, people make decisions when they have certainty. So you give them information and they feel certain and then they take an action. If we're uncertain, we'll take certain misery over uncertainty. Right? Like we will choose to be miserable because the devil we know versus the devil we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Familiarity.
Yeah. Yep. And so now the mistake is with people like the people we're talking about, these really gifted people, when they say something, they think they're giving, you have your gap. There's a gap of uncertainty. This is how much uncertainty somebody has. Mm-hmm. The goal is to give them information to close the gap of uncertainty, right? What they consider information is actually innovation to like a regular human. It increases uncertainty. Yeah. So the biggest problem is they think they're saying something that's helpful. It's actually incredibly confusing. And that's most of the problem. Most of their problem comes from, again, they say, well, I told them that. Yeah, but they don't know what you're saying because you've been doing this for 30 years and you have a PhD, you have like 5 PhDs and like,
they just kind of take for granted that the things that are normal in their world aren't normal in everybody else's world.
Yep. Yeah. It's I call it a base knowledge disconnect. So even when we think we're speaking to like the base knowledge, we're actually speaking to the base knowledge of people like us.
Yeah.
Which is not the buyers, right? People like us don't really buy from us because they have the same skill set as us. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest, it happened, right? Academics are trained to speak in a way that impresses other academics. Personal trainers speak in a way to impress other personal trainers. And like, none of that is particularly good for sales.
Yeah. It's like us as marketers talking about, CPMs and CPAs and KPIs and all the various acronyms that we make up. Somebody that's, works at the coffee shop, it overhears us, has no clue what we're talking about. But, among our peers, it's pretty common knowledge.
Yep. And just recognizing that. And the longer, the deeper to do research, you develop a paradigm. You have to. Right? Because if everything is an option, you can't go deep. So you develop this paradigm, and even when you simplify things as much as you possibly can, you still have kind of these blinders, and you're working in this paradigm. Unless somebody else has also done deep research in that field, they don't have the same paradigm. So that's usually the issue. I have 2 kinds of ideal clients. One is like a Dr. Jeff Spencer. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is get him in front of people and it's game over. Like it's not.
So his qualities, like specifically, would they be like, okay, high achiever, he's obviously proven himself through and through. And, so you're spotting success. I'm imagining like you seem to have like a really fucking good filter on what you don't, at least to maybe the gap that you can solve because, you have a purpose, but it seems like you're always on the hunt for the right people and the right things. But you have a hell of a filter, it sounds like, for all this.
The filter is, and it's my own paradigm. It's certainly faulty in some ways, but the filter is, it depends. If I say, hey, what should I do? What should I do about getting better sleep? And they're like, wear blue blockers. Like you have an answer that quick without any context, any diagnostic or any compiling of information. That's a big red flag to me. Everybody I know in my world that I lean on would say, well, it depends. Right? Oh, there's a diagnostic process. There's some kind of compiling and analyzing information before we strategize and execute. Right.
Yeah.
So that's my main filter. Anybody that is certain of something without context. Nope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like maybe certainty across the board. Would you say that it seems like things just change. I mean, faster than ever. We just actually chatted with Steven Kotler. So, I mean, like, things are changing all the freaking time, super fast, you know? So what would you say just with certainty in general? Like, is there certainty? Yeah. You know, like in anything?
Yeah. I mean, that's the project that I'm most excited about, skipping ahead to that.
Yeah.
But the only reason is because it is actually an app, and it is called the Certainty app.
Is that with
It almost sounds like you teed him up for that.
I know, I like it. Yeah, tell me more. I had no clue. I'm curious now.
Yeah, Certainty. The concept is for business owners or anybody, we acquire money, right? And sometimes we forget that more does not mean closer to things that matter to us. So we have to get clear on what matters to us, our priorities. And we have to be honest with ourselves. So you have to tell anybody else, but we have to be honest about what our priorities are. You want to be famous? Great. I don't care. Like, I have no judgment, but you need to know, because each priority has a cost, right? So let's say you grow your business and you want 10 hours of free time to spend with your kids. There's going to be a cost to replace what you do in your business. And that needs to happen in the next 2 years. And let's say you got to pay off your mortgage because it's stressful and you want to buy another house, and that has to happen in 5 years. And you never want your wife to work again, and that needs to happen in 3 years. And that's $70,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. Now we have your priorities. We rank order them and put a cost in a timeline. Now all that matters in my mind, from a business perspective, is every move we make in our business gets us closer to funding those priorities. Mm-hmm. Like, you could say, I'm going to partner with Elon Musk and he's going to give me $10 billion. Like, does that get you closer to priorities? Because if not, I don't care.
Yeah.
So what the app does, and what I'm always looking at, is given the current trend, so the return you get on your investments, your salary, all that stuff, are you on track to fund your priorities in the time that's appropriate? If no, well, I'll start with this. If yes, every move we make should be creating certainty. Right? Removing the risk, creating redundancy, all that stuff. It's not grow your revenues, because if you push to grow your revenues, you also take on risk. Always, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're not on track to fund your priorities, then you do have to take on that risk in order to get on track. And then once you're on track, we remove the uncertainty and the risk and the volatility. So it's certainty that you get to the things that matter to you. Mm-hmm. And so it's a huge frame shift for the way most people think. Yeah. But it ties into your bank accounts, ties into all of your businesses, everything. And it just says, hey, if I make this move, am I getting closer to the things that matter with more certainty?
Yeah.